And welcome back to the town of Harlech, where a quarry is very quickly being constructed. The workers are making very short work of all of these trees, actually. Oh, Eva the woodcutter has died and has been replaced by Chard. Well done, Chard. We've got 5 labourers now. 5 labourers? My god! Let's pop up the population of our foresters then, in that case. We've also got 5 builders. Let's drop that down to 2 for now. Right, there are a few other things that we can do. Now, I've been having a look around the map. Over here, we have a wealth of stone and iron. And what I've been thinking is this little area... Oh, really? Aurelius the tailor has died of old age. Damn it. Now, we can have another fishing dock over here. We could have some houses there. A lot of this can piggyback off the supply stockpile and storage barn over there. But a bridge over here would give us access to all of this stone and iron. And I think that would be a very, very good idea. So we're going to set that up right away. So let's get a road going down there. There we are. And now a wooden bridge. Now, some people have expressed a desire to have stone bridges. Wooden bridges don't seem to really affect the speed that much. I don't think the upgrade of stone roads over regular dirt roads really affects speed that much. So I wouldn't worry too much about the difference of stone and wood bridges, unless you're speaking about the aesthetics. In which case, I certainly can understand. But I kind of like the aesthetics of a nice, well-crafted wooden bridge, if I'm perfectly honest. Now, let's have a look around the rest of this list. We've got plenty of homes there, and the quarry is really, really close. In fact, I'm going to have this pinned open, just so I can watch the quarry for now. Reserve of iron is low. Ah, damn it. Okay, yeah, we are really going to need a lot of iron. We've got 6. Alright, let's do a little bit of resource gathering from the outskirts of town. That's actually fairly close to this area, though people will have to walk along there. Also, there seems to be quite a lot of iron down here as well, so we'll grab that. Is there much iron over there? Oh, there is over there, but we'll leave that for now, because that is getting quite far away from our actual town. However, down here, is there much iron over here? Any iron over here, in fact? No, there's just mostly stones. Well, that's useless. Well, actually, I suppose I could have a bridge going down there as well. And that would give access to these stones and that iron as well. But no, I think I'll leave that for now. I've got a couple of projects in mind. We've got room for another trade port over there, and I'm strongly tempted to do that. Oh, my lord, we're almost at 1,000 wood. Well, wow, almost at 900, but that's closer to 1,000 than it is to 200, for example. Right, let's increase this a little bit. I think we can afford to put... Well, honestly, we can probably afford to go ahead and put an extra 700 firewood into the trader, because this is a surplus of firewood. So, yeah, go ahead, start carting that off down there. That would be fantastic. That would actually give us a lot that we could purchase. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and set up some automated purchases. Let's slow this down. Well, it's only on 5. That's fine. Now, these buttons around there affect the priority. If you've got multiple things that you want to trade for, this will affect which ones get purchased first. Now, we have meat. We have plenty of meat, in fact. And we also have plenty of herbs. We're making our own clothes. We're making our own tools. So we're going to move tools down. Basically, I'm going to reposition the priority based on what I don't have. However, I don't particularly need alcohol, so that's going to be at the bottom of the priority list when it comes to automatic purchases of the things that I don't have, because we don't have anywhere to use the alcohol right now. And log... Well, actually, we'll leave those up there because they're primary resources, and if I'm wanting them to automatically purchase that, it's because I really need it. There's some big project that I'm working on. Jaylin, the hunter, has died, and Jacqueline has replaced Jaylin as the hunter. Fair enough. Now, I would like... textiles is probably leather and wool, but I'm going to put textiles down in the low priority branch. Now, I would like very much if you would automatically buy about 500's worth of grain, 500 worth of... No, not 580. 500 worth of fruits and 500 worth of vegetables, if they are available. Now, we should have plenty here to trade for that, but they'll decide how best to make up the money for that, I think. We've got a couple of new people becoming adults. We're up to 54 adults. That is fantastic. But it is iron that is currently holding back our quarry from being built. That is a shame. Though, saying that, we could open up this mine. In fact, we've almost got everything we need to open up this mine. So, yeah, go ahead. Let's get that going. Mind you, our population is ballooning right now. We've built a lot of houses recently. Perhaps it is time that I address that. We'll keep an eye on this. If that drops below 2,000... Actually, no. If it drops below 2,500 at any point, I'm going to build a new food production place. Probably a fishery. Probably somewhere over here. I've been having a look at this area, and I think I might be able to squeeze one fishing dock in there, and it would have the vast majority of its work area would be over water. So that would be an extremely, extremely efficient fishing dock. Everyone is happy. Most people are healthy. All is going well for the moment. Now, I'm not sure if I really want to keep that over there. That might be distracting some people. There's barely anything in it anyway. Though that said, I'm not sure if this can accept things straight away. For example, I'm not sure if the blacksmith can simply deposit the tools that they make into the market, or whether they actually need this there. In which case, I would actually need to keep that there for those times when where our production buildings are making stuff. That's worth keeping in mind, honestly. If anyone does happen to know categorically whether someone can supply their finished goods to the market directly, then please let me know in the comments. But other than that, it seems that we're going to be waiting on a few things to be built, though that probably not too long. Let's check. Have we got the... Yes, we have got the bridge. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and designate some stone to be mined from over here. Wow, there's a lot of stone there. That's crazy. But for now, I'm going to let time progress, and hopefully we will have a quarry and maybe even a mine ready for your return. So I shall see you in a few minutes. And welcome back. I've brought you back much sooner than I anticipated. In fact, I haven't even turned down the speed yet. But, well, it's paused at the moment. But there is very good news. We have a livestock merchant who has brought cattle. Now, we can easily afford 2, and that's all I'm going to buy. So we're going to get that much there, and we'll want to sell about 400. Well, actually, no. Well, no, yes, we will. 400 worth of firewood for that. I was wondering if we should sell some of the coats, but no, we are actually got a dearth of clothing there. And so it is better just to get rid of this firewood. It does bring us down, and if seeds come up, then we may not be able to afford to buy them. But having cattle is fantastic for us. Now that that has been bought, we're going to let time move forward. But where we're going to set up this area... Now, I want all of this area more or less for houses around here. So, the cattle is going to have to be up there somewhere. So, first and foremost, let's draw out this road a little bit more. Now, to set up a pasture, the road is there. So, how big can this be? I believe it can be 20 by 20. That is as large as a pasture can be, 20 in each dimension. So if we place that there, it's going to take 76 wood. We've already got that. Once this wood is there, I think cattle, there'll be maybe 20, maybe 11 cattle will be able to fit into a pasture of this size. We've got 2. You don't need 2. And this is something to keep in mind. I was very surprised when I bought 1 cattle. I was thinking, right, well, I'll buy one now because I can afford one. This was in my first test game of Banished. And I placed it in a pasture to get it out of the little kind of temporary pasture that livestock are placed in with the trading port. And then it started having calves. And I thought, well, that was rather unexpected since you haven't got a mate. But I can only assume that they are sold to you pregnant. But that means that you don't need to buy 2 if you don't have the resources. If you can sell enough just to get 1, then that will start you off. It'll take a lot longer for it to actually start to produce animals and to fill out your pasture, but it won't really matter too much if that's all you've got the option for. Now, how's everything going? We do need a bit more stone. We are running very, very low on stone at the moment. Has everything been brought in? No, not quite. Okay. Well, I've designated the iron over here to be mined, so I'm also going to designate some of the stone as well, and that should get us an iron mine going, if nothing else. We are actually expanding quite well. We've got 7 laborers. This is bonkers. I'm actually going to put 2 extra vendors there, and in fact I'm going to put an extra trader as well. That should help a little bit. And another child was born. My god. A school is going to be necessary soon, but I really do want to get a town hall before we go for a school. But I would love it if someone would start hauling the logs up there. Perhaps we can have a couple of houses over here. We will probably be able to have 2 herdsmen per pasture. You don't need to put herdsmen in the pasture. I believe the herdsmen will shear and milk. No, actually, I don't think milk is a produce here. I'm not even sure if you need it for the byproduct of the animal. But the animals will breed without the herdsman there. Herdsmen simply speed the process up. And as I've said before, once you reach the limit for that animal in the pasture, say you've said the pasture can only hold 20, or perhaps you've said, I only want to keep 10, then once you have 10 or 20, they'll kill one of them to make room for extra births. I'm not sure if you need the herdsman there to get any produce at all, that is someone to actively kill the excess livestock. That would be something I could experiment with, I suppose, but they will help us fill the pasture out. So until this pasture is completely full, we won't actually get anything back from it, but once it is full, it will dramatically outproduce a hunter in terms of leather and meat. But the meat we'll be getting from cattle is obviously beef, so again we'll be varying the diet of our citizens, which is always a good thing. More children, we're up to 16 children. That's actually kind of frightening. But we're doing fine for food. We're still okay. We're still in the several thousand region. And our herbalist is doing fantastically well at gathering herbs. So on the whole, everything's going okay. Though we are a little bit low on firewood. That's not so good. That is really not so good. When did that happen? Is it because, oh, I've just sold a bunch so they're trying to restock? Well, damn. Okay, I'm going to drop this down to 1,000 just to get some more firewood back out. And then I'll top it back up later on. Our graveyard is starting to fill up. We've got another one of the large graves. No, actually we've got 3. That's kind of nice and not nice at the same time. I hate to say that it looks nice now that there are a couple of graves in there, because that could be taken the wrong way. But I hope you trust that I don't mean it in the negative, morbid sense that I'm glad people are dying. It's just graveyards look pretty. Now, though that's equally morbid, I don't think I can actually express what I want to express without it coming off as being morbid, I'm afraid. But the mine is coming along. We just need 2 more stone, and then the mine can be finished. And once we've got the mine up and running, we might be able to finish the quarry. So for now, I'm just going to keep the quarry and the mine up the top there until one of them is complete. Now, with the amount of labourers we've got, I would have imagined we'd have been able to gather the stone we need, but apparently not. It's a little bit of a concern. We are getting there with the logs, though. But for now, I'm going to wrap up this part of the recording and pause for now, and I shall bring you back, hopefully, when one of the new projects is complete. So see you in a few minutes. And welcome back to a fully complete mine. Oh, this is fantastic. As you can see, our pasture still waiting on material, but our quarry is now being built as well, so that won't be too much longer. Now, with the mine, let's just close that and open it up again. You can either mine iron or coal, and you can set individual limits on both. We're going to be going for iron. That is what we need at the moment, and you can have 15 people working here. It will show you the amount that's left in the mine. Now, I'm not sure if this has like an area of effect That is, this mine is just by here, but it's actually mining things from all over, like a huge branch underneath it, or not. But once this depletes, that's it. The mine is useless, but you can't destroy it. The mine is stationary. With a mine, it doesn't really make that much difference, because it's usually built in a place where you couldn't build anything else anyway. But let's get some miners out, and also turn off my alarm to water the plants. I'll have to remember once I'm finished with this. Now, let's get some miners out there. Drop the builders down. There we go. We've got 4 miners. So we should start seeing iron flowing. Let me start again. We should start seeing iron flowing into the town, into the marketplace and our blacksmith. And here we go. The quarry is now being built. This will be the foundation for the winch system that will help bring the rocks and stones out of the quarry. You won't actually see any animation in it, or at least I've never noticed any animation. No, pasture's still waiting. Still need quite a lot of wood up there, but we've got loads of wood available, so it's really just a matter of time now. And over here, I can probably... No, I'm going to leave these there for now. People can still work there. If we have a sudden influx of labourers due to children growing to adults, then that will actually help. But we're probably going to want to look at building some more houses soon. In fact, we are going to need some more houses. I'm going to go ahead and work on that right now. I'm a little bit weary of letting our population age too much. As we can see, we do have a couple of very old families living here in this part of the outpost at least. So it's time to add a couple more. So let's get a stone house there. And while we're here, we can actually check out who's working where, or rather who's living where. We can see that everyone who's currently working in this woodcutter comes from this outpost. And you can do this on either places of work or houses to see where they actually work. We can see that the hunter has got some people working who live nearby, but some who live in the main town. The gatherer, everyone lives locally. And the woodcutter, people also live in the town. So we may need that extra house. That might fix the problem, or it might not. But we have a new merchant. Let's check out this. What kind of merchant are you? You're a livestock merchant. Again? Really? I'm afraid I don't need any extra cattle. Thank you. Now, I really need to get those in a pasture soon, because they may die just living there. They can die of old age, apparently, or perhaps lack of nutrition. I'm not sure, but we do need to get that set up sooner rather than later. So with that in mind, I'm going to cut back on some of our foresters and put them into being builders, just to help things along, hopefully. We will keep the amount of miners that we've got at the moment, but we can cut down on vendors and get a couple more builders again. So hopefully that will help. This is really close now. There's once that's got the remaining logs, which is just 37 logs, we'll be able to build that up. Oh, that will probably take a little while, actually. Though we do have quite a few builders, so it might not be as bad as I'm thinking. Now, the mine is producing iron. It just drops it at just outside, and then it's someone else's job to come and pick it up and drop it off in the nearest stockpile. But hopefully that is going to help things there. However, until we actually get some houses down here, everything in this little outpost is working, well, not quite as efficiently as it could otherwise. Now, Loechin has become an adult, if their name is Welsh, which in a town named Harlech, I can only assume it is. Thus, double L is pronounced sh. Right. We are still waiting on this, but the quarry is up and running. Ah, fantastic. However, we don't really need any quarrymen. But we'll put one stone cutter down there to help with that. In fact, we can dial back the builders and move some people over into the quarry as well. That's fantastic then. We're actually starting to spread things out. We'll keep 3 laborers for now. So the only thing remaining... Oh, they finish it. Fantastic. Now the builders just need to get up there and finish the work. Ah, everything is moving so quickly. We are also replenishing our stocks of firewood, which I'm pretty happy about. In fact, that's going so well, we can now put this back up to 1,500, I feel. There we go. As for food, we're still doing okay, so I might creep this up just a little bit more. But let me just check how much fish is around. Yeah, loads of fish is around. So let's creep this up to 750 instead. Alright, things are going well so far. Now the pasture is... This is just a footprint at the moment. Once the pasture's there, we have to decide what cattle, or rather what livestock to keep in the pasture. Obviously, right now we've only got cattle available to us. But with that said, perhaps it would be in my best interest to start another pasture so we don't have this long wait in the future. Someone did warn me that I should start working on a pasture now. And like a fool, I did not listen. This is my fault. Right, let's get another pasture area set up. Can we have another 20 by 20? Not quite. Almost though. Oh no, we can. Ah, fantastic. Very well. I accept. Can I have it starting over there though? So we've got a road going between them? Yes, I can. I accept twice. Okay, let's get rid of that. No? Is that the tool? Road removal tool? There we go. And we'll have a road moving up between them. Okay, so we'll have two pastures. This one will be for our cattle. This will be for the next thing we get. Hopefully chickens, honestly. Though having sheep would be good for wool. We'd be able to make very warm clothing. But chickens produce eggs as well as chicken. So I would actually prefer that for the enhanced food production, given that our town is continuing to grow rather quickly. And we've even got more houses on the way. So... yeah, I think that would be best. Next place I'm going to build houses is probably down here just to increase the efficiency of this little outpost area. I think that would be the wisest move, honestly. But our pasture is almost finished. Ah, fantastic. Right. Now this icon there means I haven't decided what's going to go in there. So we can choose here cattle. Now, there's a lot of different things we can do in here. Firstly, we can have up to 20 cattle. Now, this is different based on the animals, because certain animals are much larger. We can have 20 cattle in a pasture of this size, and I happen to know that you can have 66 chickens in a pasture of this size. We want herdsmen, though. 2 of, please, and we'll cut back the builders a little bit. Now, the herdsmen will help this place produce quite a lot of, well, rather speed up their breeding. But as you can see, this is beholden to the global food production limit. Now, a ranch will produce a lot in the long term. It'll take a long time for this to actually get up to producing. And you've got various options as well. You can empty out this pasture into another pasture if you've got 2, or you can split it. Once you've got this to the full cattle that you've told it to have, in this case 20, you could reduce this if you wanted, you can click on split and it will literally split the population between this pasture and another empty pasture, so we could have 2 cattle pastures if we really wanted to. We don't. Not yet, anyway. Maybe later on when we've got a much larger population, like most of this area's houses, then that would make a lot of sense. But for now, this will do. In fact, I don't really think we need extra houses up here, but perhaps I will make some. What on earth? Why did you get some... what? Why is there... Why did you produce logs? I don't know. But we may get some houses up here, especially as we get more and more farms out the back there. But for now, they can continue to live in the main settlement, I feel. And that's not really going to affect our efficiency too much. But now that we're actually producing both iron and stone, I think we're going to go ahead and plan for a town hall. A town hall is, as you can see, an enormous building. And it's a shame because it is going to take up room that could be a house otherwise, but I think placing the town hall here would be pretty good. That way, traders coming through can see the town hall right there and be suitably impressed by this large stone building. It's going to cost an enormous amount of stone, but now that we've got a quarry and a mine, it'll just be a matter of time for that to be finished. So with that, I think we're going to wrap this episode up. I'm actually really pleased. Oh, actually, we've got a trader coming through. We'll wait to see what they have. What have you got to sell? We have a general goods merchant. We can buy steel tools. My goodness. And walnut seeds. Wow. Now, we're not going to buy the roots, but we are going to buy the walnut seeds. How much is that going to cost us? 2,000. Well, that would be about 625, I believe. Let's see if my math is correct. Aha! Yes, it is. I've redeemed myself very slightly. Very slightly. That took me a little bit too long to calculate, but there we are. Okay. Right, we are going to trade for that. I'm not sure. I could take the steel tools. No, I would rather build another mine and produce our own, as a matter of honor. But this is going to affect our firewood quite badly, because they're going to suddenly try to restock. So I'm actually going to reduce this down to 1,000, so they don't try to restock too aggressively in one go. But, oh, I've adjusted that, have I? Really? Okay. 625 again. There we go. Let's trade that over. There we are. We can now build farms. Everything is happening at once. My goodness. I'll wait for the next episode to build the farms, though. So in this one, we've managed to get some cattle, and hopefully we will start seeing calves there before too long. But it will be several years before we have this pasture completely full of cattle and actually start seeing any produce being produced from it. But that is it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you will be joining us for the next. But until then, and as always, do take care.